I'm excited to share that we have Dr. Nate Stevenson and Dr. Andrew Wiley from Kent State University who contributed to our survey chapter. And the first question that they have kindly agreed to talk to us about is how they use survey research in their own personal research to drive our special education field forward.
Sure. Well, I'll just say that when it comes to survey research, I primarily use surveys that have already been developed in order to collect useful data on things like school climate and culture, how teachers and students perceive different behavioral programs that are being implemented in schools and that kind of work. I also do a fair amount of work just evaluating certain instruments to determine how well that these instruments and the factors that these instruments are trying to collect actually fit with some of the really important outcome measures, things like attendance and suspension rates and teacher attrition and things like that.
Yeah, and in my experience with survey research, it's primarily with my doctoral students. So 2 students in particular did really large state level projects. One was a survey asking both general ed and special ed teachers about their perceptions of student misbehavior. And the focus of that research was on causal attribution. So how do teachers think about the causes of kids' misbehavior and how it relates to their attitudes towards evidence-based practices. And the second one is ongoing, and it's again a state level survey looking at teachers who work in credit recovery programs, which are for kids who are at risk for dropping out of high school. And again, they're reporting some factual information about what their program is and how many kids are there and how they assign kids or have kids participate. But again, also their perceptions and beliefs and attitudes about whether or not those programs are helpful for kids. And that's a nice one because I don't think our field has looked really closely at these programs, and particularly kids with disabilities who are participating in these programs.
Thank you. And so reliability and validity and validating surveys plays a huge role in the work that you're doing that both contribute to our understanding of evidence-based practices. So not only are we developing interventions, but we're seeing what the perceptions and thoughts are about those interventions. Do these programs that we've designed, like credit recovery, actually help kids? And so I know you're both at Kent State, and I was wondering if you would share a bit about how you work together, both formally and informally, to drive our field forward through your research.
So I started working at Kent State in 2015, and when I arrived, Andrew was assigned to me as a faculty mentor to kind of, show me the ropes and, somebody to help me through the tenure process and such. And, over the last several years has been really a fantastic resource for all of that stuff and more. Our offices are right across the hall from each other. So Andrew's always popping in to talk about, really immediate questions as well as larger big picture things. It's really helpful to discuss, kind of where we're going with certain programmatic things there at the university, as well as kind of, how we're really conceptualizing some of these larger ideas in our research.
Yeah, and I was lucky enough to have great mentors myself. When I arrived at Kent State, I can't believe I'm kind of the old man on the block, sort of, maybe halfway there at this point. But yeah, collaboration is really huge. And I think that what I discovered quickly is there's collaboration around all kinds of concerns related to special ed, including your teacher ed program, working with communities, and also research. But there's also collaboration that goes on with other universities. And one of the coolest things about, working with Nate and meeting new people is that you also then, have an entire new circle of people around the country that you work with. Research in special ed, and probably a lot of fields, but in special ed is very collaborative, and It's really important to have people who are energetic, energized, passionate about the field. And I've always appreciated that. My collaboration with Nate is that he thinks really well about special education, and he's really dedicated and hardworking. So it's always a mutual benefit.
Thank you so much. We are so excited that you agreed to contribute to our text, and we look forward to future collaborations with you both. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, happy to do it.